All right, welcome back to my kitchen for another session of Cooking with Your Coach. My name is Courtney Handel, and the health and wellness coach and wellness practitioner at the Waukesha Employee Health and Wellness Center. And today we are making energy bites. Again, a lot of different reasons why it can be helpful to make your own. This is one food that hasn't made mainstream packaging, really, to my knowledge. I mean, I've seen it a little bit, but the reason why I love these is because it's, again, another way to pack a lot of nutrients in, and it takes a little bit of prep time, and then it's a quick grab and go snack, which is awesome. And also kid approved. My kids love them. They like to help make them, and they like to eat them. So good all around. So again, just some basics before I really get into the demo for today, and that is that you're going to want to have, there's a ton of different recipes out there, but kind of the basics of how it works is you want to have some healthy fat, right? So that might be a peanut butter or other kind of nut butter, but you might see other recipes too where instead they focus more on like the healthy fats coming up from ground up nuts. So that's another option. You're gonna probably have some oats. You could also sub for cooked quinoa or even like a dry toasted quinoa. Or again, like I said, the cashews, dates, coconut, that can come in to hold it together and be kind of like the bulk. And then protein and fiber, of course, we want to sneak in here. So nuts and seeds, and really a big variety of option. Today I have ground flaxseed, chia seed, hemp heart seeds, or hemp hearts. And then I also have some pecans that I ground up real fast too. And then you could obviously also add protein powder. I'm not doing that today because I think I'm getting plenty of protein from all the other things that I'm doing. But you could do that. It does work. And then you need something to kind of bind it together. These are not something that you bake. So honey or maple syrup typically work pretty well for this, and you don't need a ton. Again, also you could just, if you have a food processor, you could mix it up with some dates, and that would make it sticky too, and add the sweetness. And then vanilla extract, if you have it, or if you were making something a little bit different, like I am today for the demo part, getting creative with different extracts. If you're making like a lemon one, using a lemon extract, orange, use an orange extract, etc. And then also making it fun. So when my kids help, which they helped prepare some last night, they always want to add mini chocolate chips, and they like to add sprinkles. Sometimes we'll get the mini M&Ms for fun, but other things too, like the dried fruit, shredded coconut. Today I'm also using toasted coconut, sea salt, cinnamon, sugar, or cinnamon. I'm sorry, cinnamon. Well, maybe cinnamon sugar, rolling them in that would be fun. Ground ginger, cardamom, etc. Another thing to think about with the healthy fats that I actually did today is you could sub a little bit of, so up there you can see for this recipe, I have estimating about 1 cup of like a nut butter. You could sub 1 tablespoon less of the nut butter and include a tablespoon of a flavored olive oil. So today I did add, I am making like a carrot cake style one. So I added, and I only had peanut butter, so I was like, I don't want the peanut butter flavor to come on too strong. Also didn't have enough peanut butter to make it 1 cup. So that worked out really well, that I didn't have quite enough peanut butter. So I added a little bit of blood orange olive oil from Oro di Olvia. And that is going to give a really nice flavor. Honestly, if I was in fall mode, I would probably add then like some orange zest, some dried cranberries, cinnamon, something like that. Like I said, you could also do like a lemon olive oil with your lemon zest and lemon juice and coconut. Today I am, I have prepped to show you what they look like finished product. Kind of more standard, like peanut butter, nuts and seeds and chocolate chips and oats, but it didn't have a lot of peanut butter left, and I did have some carrots that needed to be used, and also some spinach, so I'm getting real crazy here. And I had some dates that needed to be used. So ahead of time, well, let me talk about this. Let me pause for a second, and then I'll show you what I'm doing here. But honestly, to assemble, you're just putting all the ingredients in a bowl, mix it up, form them into balls, which I will show you that in a little bit. I would say that sometimes some people find it easier to like microwave the peanut butter or nut butter and honey together or maple syrup together so that they are easier to stir. That does help. You don't need to, but you can if you don't mind the extra dishes. Also, putting everything in a food processor can be helpful, especially if you have like finicky eaters yourself or whoever's eating them texture wise, because then it's a little bit more of a smooth texture. It's less lumpy bumpy. I'll come back to this slide in just a little bit, but let me go ahead and show you what I'm doing here. I'll stop sharing. Okay, so like I said, today I had some spinach that I needed to use up. I had some carrots, had some dates that needed to be used up as well. So I went ahead and pulsed together the peanut butter that I did have. So I did through some carrots, and you could see they didn't all get ground up. Couple handfuls of spinach. I put in the couple dates that I had left, and I added the blood orange extra virgin olive oil. So that's what we see right here. This is my peanut butter, and I did taste it, of course, because I want to make sure it's going to taste good. It is good to taste as you go so that you know if the end product is going to yield what you want, if you need to add any other spices or flavorings. So this is good. I think adding those things did actually cut back on the like peanutty flavor, which, I mean, if you couldn't already guess or I didn't already say, I'm going for like a carrot cake style rolled balls, kind of close to Easter, right? I thought that'd be a fun twist on things. So I am just going to got my oats. I did throw a little bit of coconut in there as well. Got my peanut butter, spinach, carrots, and dates mixture here. And you know what? I did also put my vanilla right in there because I needed some liquid. But I have some on side here just in case I need more. Also got my grated carrots. Just going to throw those in the bowl. Let's see. It's getting stuck. And then for spices, I did cinnamon. I threw in a little cardamom, nutmeg, cloves, and a little bit of ginger. So I will send as well and link the recipe that I am kind of going off for these, but again, it's a little bit of a mishmash. That's kind of my style, experimenting. I might be the only one that likes it, but you know what? That's okay. I'm still gonna eat the spinach at least. I'm gonna throw some raisins in there, and then this is my all blended together. I measured out my nuts and seeds, so to be that, I think on that slide I had said a third to a half cup. It really just depending too. If you want less oats, you could do more nuts, which is I think what I'm doing here. So I've got again flaxseed, chia seeds, hemp hearts, and then ground pecans. And then you know what? Why not? I'm gonna throw a little bit of the toasted coconut in there. And then you're really just stirring it up. So takes just a little bit of arm strength, getting that work in there. You could also say, you know what, my kids, what they really like to do is just get in there with their hands and mix it up with their hands, which is, again, another great way to go about it, sometimes more effective. And honestly, it's a little bit more fun and helps you to be a little bit more creative and feel a little bit more connected to the end product. Again, at this point, I would say, you know, maybe give it a little taste. Make sure it has the flavor that you're looking for. So you can see I've got this there. It's all mixed up. And then again, depending on the size of ball you want, you might want to reach in there and grab it and just roll it with your hands. I've used a couple different scoopers, just like a salad scooper, they call it, or cookie dough scooper. But honestly, my favorite thing to use is a melon baller. At least to get it started. My kids like to do that too. They'll scoop it and then pass it over to me, and then I'll roll it into, so it's just like a little bite size. And then what I'm going to do, because I've got this fun coconut here that I toasted, I don't know if you can see that. So I'm just going to roll the ball in the toasted coconut. There you go. And give it a little try. Yeah, that is good. That was a good choice. Okay, so when it's done, you can get a product that looks like that. Now let me go back to that other screen so I can show you those other tips, because they are, other than the like fly with it and just, you know, make the modifications per what you are wanting to make and what you have available. I think this tip that I have on the end is pretty helpful. So when you are done rolling it up, I like to put them on a cookie sheet, a baking sheet like this with a silicone mat. And then I just put them in the freezer, sometimes for 20 minutes, sometimes I forget and they're in there overnight, but it doesn't really matter. And then after that, I get a freezer bag or a container that I can freeze them in, and I will label what it is and then just plop them all in there, and you can pull them out one by one. Also, you can keep them in the fridge. They just don't last, like stay fresh quite as long. I think you can keep them in the fridge probably for about a week or so, but in the freezer, they'll keep for about 3 months. So that can be great. Also, you know, this is another one where you can break up the ingredients and make some different styles if you want, and try different things. So I think that sums it up. Get out there, get creative with your cooking, take some risks, do some experimenting. And in the meantime, I hope that you take a look on YouTube, look at our other videos that we have on there. Also check out our podcast, Talk About Wellness. If you haven't already, at the end of April, here we're in April 2023, we are starting the Healthy Habits Challenge. So for our Wellness Center participants, be sure to look out for that and register. And then, of course, always available for coaching, telephonically, virtual, in office, or walking. And that is it. I hope you have a great day, and I hope you enjoy these energy bites.